He has a weird hang-up about midgets. You guys, I don't know why it took me so long to get around to this movie, but I finally did, and it was in preparation for the 2008 live stream that we're getting ready to have on Tuesday. Now, this is not going to go up before the live stream, so by the time anybody sees this, the live stream will already have been over. We will have talked about this movie some, I'm sure. This was a film that I had on my list that I definitely, absolutely wanted to make sure I watched in preparation for the live stream. It wasn't just haphazardly on my list. I specifically wanted to see that. Out of everything that I planned to watch, I specifically wanted to see this because I had heard nothing but good things about it. And I've known about it for many years. And finally sat down this afternoon to watch it. Artur and I watched it together. And I figured I would enjoy it, but I didn't realize I would enjoy it as much as I did. No, I did not take any notes, so all of this is just by memory, and I hope I don't forget anything. But the premise of this movie, so Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, and I cannot remember the name of the director, they're also in this latest movie, The Banshees of something or other, that I'm going to go see tomorrow. I kind of have a feeling I'm not going to like that one as much as this, and maybe it's just the subject matter or the story, but the premise of this is, well, it's a black comedy, so it has a surprising number of genuinely comedic moments in here. I mean, laugh out loud moments, of which there were plenty. I laughed at so many things in this movie, and what was so weird about it is because it's a black comedy, it wasn't just funny, but it was also serious. Like, there were life and death things that were going on. And the interesting thing about the way this movie was made is that in the midst of something really serious and a life-threatening situation going on, death is getting ready to happen or whatever, and there were moments of comedy, and not silly comedy, not like goofy, ridiculous, slapsticky comedy, but just situational comedy and the dialogue between the characters, and it was so much funnier than I expected it would be. And I've made no secret of the fact that I'm not a big fan of comedy, but I like it when it's woven into other genres that I prefer. So in this case, I guess the genre for this, if you take away the comedic aspect, the genre for this would be like, I don't know, like thriller, or it's not really, there's not constant moments of thrill or anything like that. This is, there's a lot of sort of character interaction going on. I don't know, suspense or not mystery, but I don't know, whatever. But it's got these elements woven into it that are things that I generally like. The premise is Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, they're hitmen. And Colin Farrell is a rookie hitman. And they've been sent away to this town in Belgium called, it's called Bruges. And Colin Farrell's character is miserable. He just can't stand it. He's so bored. He wants to do stuff. And Brendan Gleeson's character, he's fascinated by the history, and he's a much more sort of introspective type of person. He's a deep thinker. He mulls things over. He appreciates these historical things and architecture. And Colin Farrell's kind of like, he's like this little child almost, and not as in like that he's simple in his brain, but what I mean is like he wants to do stuff. He's he can't stand that he's being cooped up in this place, and he's very what's the word I'm looking at? Restless, you know, but he doesn't have this appreciation for the things that Brendan Gleeson has. He doesn't like the he doesn't care about the architecture, he doesn't care about touring. I mean, there's a really it's funny to me because I think a lot of it has to do with Colin Farrell's body language and his facial expressions. He says a lot with just his face. Like, you know exactly how he's feeling, almost exactly what he's thinking, just by watching the expressions that go across like his eyes, his eyebrows, the way he moves his mouth, the way he hunches his body. There's a scene where they're like on this boat, because it reminds me a little bit of Venice, the city, and they travel on the water in these little boats, and they're traveling around on this boat, and Brendan Gleeson he's liking the stuff around them, and Colin Farrell just like those little things, those little touches just really struck me funny and made me appreciate this film so much. So they've been sent to this town to await further instructions by their boss man or whatever. So while they're in this town, this is basically telling the story of them as they're waiting to see what's supposed to happen. And then Brendan Gleeson finds out what's supposed to happen, and that kind of throws this big, huge ooey into the mix. And throughout the story, it's showing the different people that they're interacting with and meeting, and just kind of like the stuff they're doing while they're waiting, and the trouble that Colin Farrell's character gets into. And he's an actor that I have come to appreciate a lot over the years, a lot more than I did. So initially, when I was first exposed to him, I was like, I didn't really care. Not that I didn't like his acting was fine. I didn't care for him because he just seemed like, I just didn't care for the type of person he seemed to be. But as he's grown older, he seems to have matured quite a bit in different ways. And so that's helped me appreciate his acting even more than, let's say, I did before. He's a very good dramatic actor. He's also very good at comedy. I mean, any of us who have seen anything he's in is probably already well aware of these things. I mean, I already knew he was a good actor, but this movie just seems to encapsulate his comedic and dramatic abilities all in one role. And the dynamic, the chemistry between him and Gleeson was really, it was very good. They seemed like they were very comfortable with each other. Now, maybe it's all acting, total acting, and they can't stand each other, but I kind of doubt it because they're in this new movie together with the same director. So they everything between them felt quite natural, and the dialogue that they had together, the little bickering that they would have with each other, it was reminded me of like this old married couple sometimes, the way they went, and it's just, you have to see it for yourself to truly appreciate what I'm talking about. I'm so glad I took the time to watch this film. I liked it so much that I wanted to do a review for it. And so this is my review. I'm not going to say a whole bunch more because, like I said, I didn't take notes. This is just my initial reaction to it, is that it was a lot of fun. There is a bit of seriousness in here for sure. It's not all, fun and games and giggles. There's some definite, stuff that goes on in here. And I have to say that the way this film ended, though I'm typically not a fan of this type of ending, I felt like for this particular movie, it was the best way to close things out. And so I really don't even have a complaint about that. It felt solid all the way through. The writing, these little different things that happen, and then later it comes together as you see events unfold. And I felt like it was just, I can't think of anything wrong with it, to be honest. That was how much I enjoyed it. I have no cons at this moment. Maybe if I watch it again, I could nitpick stuff out, but just first impressions, it's a great movie. If you like black comedies, if you like just, I can't necessarily say if you just like only comedy, you know, if you like only comedies, because maybe you like comedies, but you don't like seeing movies that have violence and stuff in them. And there is violence in here, and some of the depictions of it are, you know, can be disturbing, but in some ways that's very nicely balanced out by the humor. And it kind of, it takes the edge off. It doesn't really completely let you forget the seriousness of what's going on, but the comedy and just the way the story unfolds and the way the characters are kind of takes the edge off of things like that. And Ray Fiennes did a great job in here. He was funny as well. I mean, it's just, it's such a good, well-rounded film that I wanted to tell you guys about it. If you haven't heard about it, if you have and you just haven't watched it yet, check it out. I think you'll probably like it. I don't think I have anything else to say about that or this movie, but I am going to tack onto the end of it a reaction to a video of bloopers from this film. So some of the bloopers might have spoiler stuff in them because it will be showing different scenes that are happening, but you're getting a taste of that already with the pictures. So I'm going to pause this and put my earbuds in so I can listen to and watch this video of bloopers. Okay, you guys, back in a moment. Okay, I'm back and getting ready to watch bloopers for the 2008 movie In Bruges. It's about 6 minutes long, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it and see how funny this is, if it's as funny as the film itself. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Why? What did he actually say?
He didn't actually say anything.
So why do you think it might be?
I don't think anything. But it's a bit fucking over-elaborate, isn't it?
It certainly is, having an air conditioner in the middle of the scene. Very over-elaborate for such a tight budget as well.
I know, but I have to...
Yeah. In Bruges on a job?
Yeah.
In Bruges on a job?
Yeah.
They're filming midgets.
Oh yeah, I forgot to get around to he's got this fixation on midgets. It's so funny. Some of the stuff he says in the middle of his dialogue that just makes no sense at all. It's really, he's so funny. And also, I think another thing that helps or helps make it even funnier is just the accent, the Irish accent. There is something so interesting and captivating. It's kind of the same thing, but about the way they talk. And so especially when things get comedic, it really amps, I feel like the accent kind of amps up the comedy. For me, it does. I don't know. Maybe it's not the same for Irish people. Maybe they don't find it as funny as, like, let's say someone like me would, who does not speak with that sort of dialect. But, okay, here we go.
Ray.
Fuck off, midgets!
13 Foxtrot, take one.
Settle. And action.
No. Is he ready to lose it? Expecting him to laugh. Yeah.
Did you see the point where I came? Did you see it? From there.
Okay.
Background. Coming up?
What's up there?
The view.
The view of what? The view down here? You can see that from down here.
Ray, you're about the worst tourist in the whole world.
Ken, I love Dublin. I grew up in Dublin. If I'd grown up in Bruges and was retarded, Bruges might...
Okay.
Brutus, man!
Oh, that scene was funny.
What's all that about? They're not going up there. Hey, guys, I wouldn't go up there. It's really narrow.
Screw you, motherfucker!
Americans, isn't it?
Oh, you knew I did something there!
Wait. I did. What happened?
Americans, isn't it?
Oh, you knew I did something there.
I have no idea what happened. I don't know. I couldn't. Maybe just because I couldn't hear what they were saying, but.
Did we not agree that if I let you go on your date tonight, that we'd do the things I wanted to do today?
We are doing the things that you wanted to do today.
That we'd do them without you throwing a fucking moody like some 5-year-old who's dropped all his sweets.
I didn't agree to that. Oh, cheer up. Oh, cheer up.
See up there, in the top altar, is a file brought back by a Flemish knight from the Crusade in the Holy Land. And this file, you know what it's said to contain?
No, what's it said to contain?
It's said to contain some drops of Jesus Christ's blood. Yeah, that's where this church got its name. The Basilica of the Holy Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this blood, right? Though it's dry blood. At different times over many years. They say, turn back into liquid. Turn back into liquid from dry blood.
He was doing so well.
These times are great. Stress.
He was doing so well.
Yeah.
Gleason went through all of that.
I'm gonna go up in the queue or touch it. That's because that's what you do. Yeah, you come.
Do I have to?
Do you have to? Of course you don't have to. It's Jesus' fucking blood, isn't it? Of course you don't fucking have to. Of course you don't fucking have to.
Some cocaine. I've also got some acid and some ecstasy. You fucking bastard. I feel like getting me fucking... You have a few minutes. Fuck off.
What? What'd you call me, man? What'd you call me, man? Mind your back, mind your back.
When are you going back to England?
Head back in a couple of hours or something.
Harry's not going to be mad at you, is he? Letting me go.
I'll sort out Harry.
Just tell him I'll probably kill myself in a fortnight anyway.
You won't, will you, Ray?
That looks like from the actual film. Like the final take. That looks like
Mr. Waters.
from the actual
Mr. Waters.
Who's
final.
that?
It's Eric.
The blind boy?
Yeah. Yes.
What do you fucking want?
The guy you were looking for. The guy red. He's downstairs at the bar. He's downstairs at the bar.
Well, which bar?
Okay, well, that was enjoyable, but that also gives you a little taste as to the environment of the story, the interaction of the actors, and just sort of the tone of the film. Not really spoilery, so that was good to see, because there were some things that were happening in these scenes that if they'd shown or said too much, definitely would have kind of given you a hint as to what was going on in the story. So, or, you know, crucial things that were happening in the story. So anyway, okay, well, I'm going to wrap this up because I have been yapping for long enough, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.